Welcome to the Rob and Kale Show. Rob Sanders.
Fucking who?
And Kale Hall.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to figure out where the fuck I was going with this shit.
The Rob and Kale Podcast.
You know what? One of these days, Jackpot's going to get tired of me making fun of him. And I don't really think I'm making fun of him, but I just think the adage that I have is that if you use something on the show, I can just use it forever. I've got some stupid stuff that I said. Maybe I'll start.
I think that one of these days I'll actually find out where the fuck I'm going with this shit.
Maybe Jackpot one day we'll finally figure that out.
Nothing wrong with that.
If I hurt Kale's feelings, he'll tell me, and he won't be like Facebook that gave me a 3-day ban for telling someone that they're ignorant a year ago. Yeah.
It's unreal.
Okay, all that. I called somebody ignorant a year ago. I've said far, far worse things. Anyway, if you guys want to join the show tonight, we're going to take calls. We're going to talk about we had a 4-hour reaction video the other night, which, by the way, shout out to Jackpot for inspiring me to do that. That is the longest that I've been on the air at one time, because I consider like radio and YouTube and all that and podcast, all of that to me is just broadcasting. That's like the longest broadcast that I've ever done. So shout out to Jackpot.
It's like you're a play-by-play guy. So
yeah, well, actually, I take that back. I've done play-by-play on some baseball games, and they may have been in the 4-hour range. But yeah. Anyway, tonight I'm going to open up the phone lines in just a moment. We're going to talk about, in case you missed it, if you would like to pepper me about Clemson losing their game to Ohio State after I came on this fine radio program. Shout out to SEC Dog tonight for joining the show. We appreciate him. If you want to call and tell me, hey, Rob, you're a jerk off for what you said about Ohio State, I will take my beatings and go about my merry way. Don't have a problem with that. So we'll open up the phone lines in a moment. Let's thank our sponsors, Callaway's Bar and Grill in West Columbia, Callaway'sBarandGrill.com. Shout out to Brock Lee, who was on the live stream the other night, because I kept saying the game's not over until it hits zeros. That's how I feel. And people get upset about that. So anyway, but Callaway's Bar and Grill out in West Columbia, they appreciate the show. Callaway'sBarandGrill.com. Retro video games, the only Golden Tea Lounge on the Midlands. So appreciate them sponsoring the show. Learn more about them at Callaway'sBarandGrill.com. Jackpot, we also have Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport. It's Fireside Chats with Uncle Kale. That's what we're calling it. So, Uncle Kale, please enlighten us with some good knowledge this evening, courtesy of Dennis Wilson of DNC Trucking and Transport. By the way, the D and the C, which are Dennis's sons, they're twin boys, both turned 10 the other day. Happy birthday there, Wilson boys. We appreciate you guys on the show as well. But this fine knowledge now coming from Carolina Jackpot.
It sucks to be a Gamecock. Clemson or South Carolina did not win on Friday night. I know most fans act like they did, but they did not. Clemson, the elite blue blood program of this state, has 6 college football playoff wins compared to 9 total bowl wins for South Carolina in program history. We are a truly shitty fan base. It sucks to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers.
That message courtesy of Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport. We appreciate him. We've got folks lined up over there with comments. We might as well just jump right into this shit, Kale. SEC Dog says, Rob, how do you feel about starting the 2021 season with a 2-game losing streak? We just wrapped up the 2020 season. I know that Georgia's season ended when they ran Stedman Jackass out there to play against Florida, so they're wanting to talk about next season now. If you want to look ahead to that, we could talk about that later on. I don't see Clemson losing 2 straight games next year, but we can get into that too. They fired Adam Gase for the Jets. Jackpot doesn't really follow the NFL, but if we wanted to get into that for a minute, we can. the NFL to like the best part about that is that normally tomorrow is Black Monday, but they kind of went to Black Sunday with Adam Gase, who should have been fired last year. He's what? I think he's 9-32 or something. I mean, the Jets are a freaking gong show, man. They are just absolutely terrible. So,
by the way, if you're in over here on the live chat on YouTube, please hit the thumbs up button. It doesn't cost anything. We got 4 thumbs up. We got 30 of y'all watching. Let's get some more. Likes on that. It helps us out a little bit. Gets the old YouTube algorithm up. And for the one person who gave us a thumbs down, I got a finger for you. Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck yourself.
You gave us a thumbs down. You can politely go and fuck yourself. That's how we feel about that. Well, how can they give us a thumbs down? We're bringing them quality programming here, and they're going to give us a thumbs down. We're not even 8 minutes into the damn show yet. The hell is that?
I would throw it gives me a thumbs down if I'm posting a video about Jesus and eating graham crackers. I mean, it doesn't matter. It could be the most most unoffensive thing imaginable, and I get it. So, whatever.
Right. Well, Beth says she just thumbed you. Okay, Beth. Thank you for that. Appreciate all the thumbs. You know what, Jackpot? I'm going to go ahead and open up the phone lines now. That way people can get themselves together. Let me put it over here. It's 803-470-2905. Someone I'd like SEC Dog to call into the program just to prove that he's an actual person.
What's up, Brentley Jones?
He may be a bot. I'm thinking that's what he is. He might be a bot programmed by somebody else.
I don't know. He's around a good bit. I don't think so.
Anyway, so, but yeah, go ahead.
Thoughts on Arkansas? Arkansas fan number 1 says thoughts on Arkansas versus Texas in 2021. They play. That's a non-conference.
Play each other. Okay.
That's interesting. I don't know about that. I don't know. I have no real opinion on any of these right now because you don't know who's going to be on the damn teams. You just don't know.
That's very important. And I debuted this new soundbite the other night, and it makes a lot of sense here.
Why don't you hold your dicks for a minute? We'll be done here in a second.
Exactly. That's pretty much what it boils down to, because you don't know who's going to be playing where. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Someone asked about our opinion of the coach step hire for South Carolina. I think that's really good. I think that's a really good hire for South Carolina. Well, the guy can recruit, and he got like 4 4-star wide receivers to commit to Arkansas. Yeah, if you get anybody to commit to that shithole, you're doing pretty good, in my opinion.
That's a good. I mean, if he can recruit like that, I mean, that may be worth more than whatever kind of on the field coaching he's providing for these young men. I mean, if he can bring in players like that. So, I mean, I think he could probably recruit more to South Carolina. I mean, we could probably recruit even if he can get 4 4-stars commit there. Imagine what he can do here. He's from South Carolina. Excellent. I mean, and I don't know. I personally think South Carolina, I would rather, if I was a high school recruit, I'd rather come to South Carolina than I would Arkansas. And that's not talking shit. I mean, that's just being factual.
Well, that's something else too. When you look at it from this perspective, when you look at South Carolina, and right now, we can make all the jokes we want about South Carolina was 2-8 and all that, but in my opinion, you have taken the Clorox and thrown it on that program right now and gotten rid of a lot of stuff. So right now, just from the perspective of, and Coach Beamer hasn't completely filled out his staff yet. There's still talks of Derek Mason. I don't know if he's going to, if that's who it's going to be or not. That's what everybody's saying. But, I think right now, when you really stop and think about it, if you line up a kid and you tell this kid, all right, you have offers from, South Carolina, Missouri, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, and hell, I'll throw Tennessee into the mix right now, as well as Arkansas and Mississippi State. If you have those 7 programs and all of them have offered you as far as being an SEC player, South Carolina is number 1 right now, in my opinion. I mean, I'd take South Carolina over the other 6.
Yeah,
just
well,
from
I mean, I would
programs
take
that right now.
I would take South Carolina over Alabama or the '85 Bears or anywhere. just a little bit of bias there.
Yeah, you're biased, but I'm trying to adjust my camera here. There we go. Anyway,
But no, like he's either got to make his mind up between coming to South Carolina or LSU. I don't know why the guy would go to LSU. I know it's a bigger name. He may make a little more money at LSU. However, Beamer has sacrificed to take a lower salary so that he can pay these guys a little bit of coin. And I mean, I don't know why you would go to LSU. They're going to be on probation for several years to come. And yep. I don't know that Ed O will be around after next season. So, I mean, why would you take a job where you stand a pretty good chance of getting fired after just being there for 1 year? And it's not even your fault. I mean, you're just there along for the ride and you get canned again. That's not a very good proposition for you, career-wise.
Yeah. Arkansas fan number 1, who's very aggressive in the chat tonight, very aggressive, says, Jackpot, I really got pissed because we're supposed to play TCU in a bowl, but they quit on us, the little fuckers. Okay, terrific.
I'm telling you, you can't ever trust something that wears purple and calls itself a horned frog. Gary Patterson and his little sweater vest.
Anyway,
I tried to read your comment. I was trying to approve your comment there, what you just said, and it wouldn't let me approve it for some reason. I guess YouTube doesn't like the word pissed. Kind of like Facebook,
I called somebody ignorant, and I got a 3-day ban. And by the way, my Facebook account, because I have said fucking far worse. So Jordan says, as a Buckeye fan, I want to say you were a good sport in the live stream on Friday. Best of luck to your team in the future. Jordan, thank you for showing up here, and I appreciate that. And unlike a lot of Clemson fans, I have absolutely no problem admitting that Ohio State was a much better team than Clemson was on Friday night. Look, I'll give you some perspective on this. My wife, who's sitting in the other room, writing lesson plans to blossom young minds. And I've said this before on other programs. She's the smartest person that I know. Very, very smart woman. But she does not follow college football, period. She pays somewhat attention because that's what I do for my regular job, blah, blah, blah. But she doesn't really know much about college football. She walked into the room the other night and literally said, "What happened?" She looked up from whatever it was she was reading on her phone and said, "What happened?" So that's pretty much the vibe that I got. I didn't think that Clemson would get manhandled like that, but
Justin Fields happened.
Justin Fields shook that off a little bit of and looking at it from this perspective, how good is Northwestern, for God's sakes, holding that guy to 115 yards passing? I mean, just throwing that out there too.
Well, they looked pretty good on Friday, and what turned out to be the de facto nobody gives a fuck bowl, because everybody was watching Georgia over there trying to keep from shitting the bed against Cincinnati, which ultimately they didn't do. But, yeah, I don't think anybody even realized Auburn was playing a football game except me. I turned over there a little bit.
I was watching that game. And I was watching, I had the luxury of being at Callaway's and watching all the games at one time. So I was actually sitting there with Dennis Wilson too. And we were like, man, look at Auburn getting mouth pumped, because that's pretty much what Northwestern did to them. So
James Thompson says, "Shut up, Jack Wagon." I pinned it up there so I can see it. Let's make fun of James Thompson.
There. Oh, well, you want to highlight him right
Jack
there?
Wagon.
Why are people calling you Jack Wagon?
I don't know. I guess it's a play on jackpot. I'd rather you call me Jack Tripper, like from Three's Company, because he was pretty cool.
Oh.
I don't know about Jack.
You would have beat Jack Tripper from was his name Jack Tripper from Three's Company? Kale with the 80s reference there. Holy
Yes,
shit.
it was Jack Tripper.
It was Jack Tripper. Oh my God. What a mess that is. Yeah, I got nothing on that. Kale making me seem like I'm old because I don't remember that shit. 803-470-2905. I watched Three's Company. I like Three's Company. Come and knock on our door.
Yeah.
I could probably sing the whole damn theme. So I'm not ashamed of that. Anyway.
I said, shut up, Jack Tripper. There we go. Thank you. I appreciate it. Still not going to do it, but.
Shit. Oh, damn it. I'm trying to highlight that for everyone because that's funny. Anyway, we're waiting on, there we go. Suzanne Summers, very good. And then Hunter Harkins picking it up for me. We've been waiting for you. Anyway, 803-470-2905. I'm flat on this, man. Just being honest. I thought that Clemson would play much better, and they didn't. So,
yeah,
I don't know where to go from here.
When we watch, once it became 21-14, I mean, they got punched in the mouth, and they didn't punch back. I don't think they lacked the talent or the depth to do it. It's just like they weren't motivated. I don't know why. I don't get it. That's just one of those things, I guess.
803-470-2905. They had more fight in them last year. Now, I'm just saying that was the way that it is. And I got to clear up a couple of things here too. So Anthony, who by the way is a patron of the show, wants a Three's Company theme song duet. He wants you and I both to sing. Like we're a bunch of monkeys that we just sing for them, Kale.
Yeah, right. I might. Yeah.
I tell you, how many likes do we have on this video right now, Kale?
It still says 5 over here, but that's not right.
All right. Well, if we get 25 likes on the video, then Kale and I will sing the Three's Company theme song. There you go. We will be trained monkeys. By the way, thanks to our patrons, Lawton Swan of Clemson Sports Talk, the czar of Clemson Sports, Thomas Dana Young, Stacey Hamp, Keith Harrelson, Jamie Phillips, Tabitha Sims, and Robert Knight. Positive Mike, who I'm sure was upset the other night. Lisa Sester Harkins, Jeff Pritchett, Christian Young, Eddie Hicks, Sally Donegan, and Melanie Bookhart. We appreciate all of you guys supporting the show. And and I guess a lot of the Facebook folks, since the show when the show started, it was just on Facebook. I got a lot of text messages and stuff from those folks on Friday night. Did you get a lot of stuff from folks on YouTube, Jackpot? Was it more of a, hey, Clemson lost, ha ha? Did you get a lot
yeah, it was a mixed bag. I didn't really mess with them too much. Didn't really go off like I normally do. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm just not as motivated right now after this crappy year we've went through, and which it's 2021 now. Doesn't feel any different than 2020 to me. So I don't know. I normally, if that had happened, I would have been dancing in the streets, clothes, maybe possibly not.
I want to address his comment. He goes, "How does Dabo, BYOG, and Tater fan base deal with Clemsoning again?" Sir, Clemsoning was Clemson losing to an unranked opponent in the season. Clemson didn't lose to an unranked opponent, sir. Everybody's throwing all these words out there. Look, Clemson lost a game, okay? But to put this into perspective, they went to their what was it? They went to their sixth college football playoff appearance. Thank you, Kale. And they think that since Clemson lost a game that, oh my God, they're in the fucking MAC now. Just calm down. The next day, what did Clemson do? They got the number one offensive tackle in the country. Convinced them, hey, you don't want to go to LSU. You don't want to go to Georgia. You want to go to Clemson. They convinced that guy to do that. So Clemson's got the number 4 ranked recruiting class in the country. And unlike Georgia, they get to the college football playoff. Georgia has the number 1 team. as far as all those recruiting titles, and they don't go. Clemson goes to the playoff. Simple as that. So it's not, it was a bad loss for Clemson, and everybody and their brother, like they mentioned it on CNN today. I was watching, not to bring politics into the show, but I like news, and I was watching CNN today. It came up on Jake Tapper's show. And one other note too, everyone talking about the ACC, you cocksuckers amaze me, because when the SEC doesn't play well in bowl games, well, those bowl games don't matter. We don't give a shit about those bowl games. You can't have both and have your cake and eat it too. You're talking out of both sides of your mouth. You don't really know what you're talking about at all. And it's kind of sad. So if you'd like to call up and talk about that, 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. That is the number to call. The easiest path to the playoffs is to join the ACC. No, it's not. The easiest path to join the playoffs is to be an independent like Notre Dame and have the Notre Dame name. That's the easiest way to go. You can play Navy and Army and roll your way right into the playoff. So there you go. Jackpot, you got something you want to add here?
No, I'm just just reading the comments. Anthony Harrelson says, let's rename Clemson. It's now Bulldogging. That's interesting. Haven't Googled the answer to this, but does anyone know which team has the most playoff losses ever? Got to be Oklahoma, right? Like
in the college football playoff?
Yeah. They lose like 4 years in a row.
Clemson's got 3 losses in the CFP. So there's that. So, I mean, you know.
Jogger 1987 says, everyone's saying Dabo ship talked. He didn't. He filled out a ballot and then responded when asked about it. Hey, here's my thing about that. Since when did your vote in the coaches poll, when did that become public knowledge? And
right, the one time that I remember it coming out was with Spurrier. And Spurrier, because every year he gave Duke a vote, remember? And it was a big thing on that. And it's like you could follow it from there. So I agree with, if you're going to have a ballot, you should be able to put it behind you and say, hey, this is what I want to. I put it out there, and this is what I believe. And if you're questioned about it, hey, say whatever the hell you want. So, you know.
Blake Robinson says, what y'all think about the SEC teams with losing records, whipping ranked teams in bowl game? That's true.
Right.
Ole Miss with the win yesterday against Indiana, and that was kind of a low-scoring game. That really was. That kind of surprised me. Kentucky pissed me off winning against NC State.
I'm not bet on Kentucky.
What? No, I had NC State actually winning. I did another little parlay with NC State and Ole Miss. Ole Miss did their job. NC State didn't do their job. Couldn't believe that.
Well, they all should be on Team Jackpot here. They didn't really work out with Team Jackpot. So anyway, I think that there's a sentiment out there, and let me make sure that I preface this because people are going to be like, oh, Rob's trying to forget the Clemson game. Look, the college football playoff is the college football playoff. It is the marquee as far as the bowl games that are played. I think we're getting to a point now where none of these bowl games are a true representation of the teams that are out there. I mean, you could pick every team and see, hey, this team lost one player or one coach or something, especially this year due to COVID-19. You don't really get the matchups that you had before, where you had like all of, everybody on the team and everybody cared so much about one example. Let's just say the Belk Bowl or the CarQuest Bowl for the Gamecocks, or when Clemson would play in the whatever shitty bowl that they're playing in.
The Music City Bowl.
Yeah, the Music City Bowl or what the hell ever. But I don't think that I don't think that these bowl games mean as much now. And I know that people are going to think that I'm just trying to say this to champion the ACC. I don't care about the ACC. I support one team. I don't really give a shit about what conferences do. I laugh at the SEC apologists, though, because generally those are the teams that they're all trying to chase Alabama and be Alabama, but they're not. And then so they just say, okay, well, we play in the SEC. Okay, congratulations. So does Vanderbilt. Not the crazy thing there.
Jogger 1987 says the opt-outs made the bowl games less enjoyable. I agree. I mean, everybody had a lot of fun sitting over here. We had a lot of fun that on Wednesday night sitting here laughing at Florida. But, I mean, what would have happened if those players had been available? That would have been a very evenly matched bowl game.
I would like to think that Florida with Kyle Pitts and the rest of those players, it would have made a heck of a difference. I'd like to believe that.
Hey, Kadarius Toney, Trayvon Grimes, and that they would have probably won that game.
Yeah, I mean that's not that far-fetched to throw out there. So if you want to talk to us about the bowl games in general, 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. Brandon Kuhn, where have you been, brother? The big thing he talks about, Kyle Pitts wished his team good luck from home. Jack made a video about that, didn't you?
I made a video about the kid from Oklahoma State that opted out, that quit at halftime. He quit at fucking halftime of a close game, a game that ended up being close.
Yeah. So 803-470-2905. Oops. Well, maybe that's part of my problem here. Hold on. There we go. Look at that. And then the phone rings. Imagine that. And
receive.
Good evening. Welcome into the program. Hello.
Hey, you there?
Yeah, we're here. What's up?
Man, I got caught off guard. I'm sorry, man. I got another call coming in. Can I call you back?
Yeah. Okay, call right back, sir.
I'm sorry you guys picked up so quick.
There you go. I'm trying to be fast, man. All right, have at it. Call us back.
Sorry, brother.
803-470-2905 is
this is not like calling in to Uncle Lou. You're not going to sit on hold for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well, no, we're not mocking Uncle Lou. Uncle Lou doesn't have the program.
We don't have the traffic.
Yeah, well, if we did have the traffic, look, if we start getting the traffic that Uncle Lou's getting, where he's getting however many thousands of videos, then I will invest in the better phone system, sir. Until then, I go with what we've got. 803-470-2905. 803-470-2905. That is the number to call if you would like to join us on the show this evening. What were you saying there, Jackpot?
Coon says, did you talk about the Gamecocks getting the elite Georgia Tech wide receiver transfer?
I'm sorry. Go ahead with all that. Someone wants me to play the Mike Leach bowl post game. Let's see if I can find that really quick here. Bowl post game comments. I don't know what Mike Leach said. We'll see if I can find it here. Let's see here if there's some videos. Oh, by the way, this is from last year. So let me see if I can figure this out and find out where it was. But Mike Leach apparently said something stupid after the bowl game.
I think from what I understand, that they asked him what did he tell his team after that melee, and he just simply said, "I told him not to do that again." Or something along those lines. I mean,
is that what he said?
Really?
He got into a fight, and there was video of his players talking about how they were kicking guys when they were down, and he told him, "You don't do that again, sir." Mike Leach is terrible.
Kingslayer says Georgia Tech wide receiver transfer. Yay, let's go. It's just too bad nobody cares because Tech sucks. Okay, that may be, yeah, but the player may not suck, sir, just because he plays for Georgia Tech. I mean,
Georgia Tech won a title like 40 years ago.
Sucked. Did you think Kevin Harris, our running back, sucked? I mean, you got
Yeah, that's not good.
kid had some talent.
I'm trying to find the actual video here of that comment because apparently that's really funny. Let's see if I can find it here. Head coach Mike Leach commented, blah, 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 blah. He says, don't do it anymore. I mean, yeah, well, it's just dumb, you know. Wait a minute. I got to find this now. 803-470-2905. That clip is going to make the soundboard here. I promise you. Yeah, because Mike Leach is stupid anyway. But see if I can actually find it. Somebody's got to have it somewhere, as I will look for it. But anyway, was that a shock to you the way that game ended there, Jackpot?
Yeah, well, I mean, I wasn't watching it. I was just like, it was just like kind of unexpected. I mean, you would have thought that game would have just been a big wet fart, and from what the looks of the game itself, it was. And then that's just, man, that you can't do that shit though. Good Lord. I mean, I know people are frustrated right now. It was 2020 when that happened. I mean, people are frustrated. They're all in their feelings. Everybody's on edge. But Jesus Christ. I mean, that's not a good look for the sport at all.
You just can't do that, man. And it just, I don't know, man. I think kids, the video was really bad too. There's Mike Leach was snapping pictures as I'm scrolling through Twitter to see if I can find the actual audio. Apparently he was snapping pictures when this team was fighting. He's taking pictures. That's great. Mike Leach on the post game brawl. I have not seen enough of the film to let us off the hook on this thing. Okay. Yeah, he's not with it.
Paul White said it reminds me of the final years of Lou Holtz. Guess he's referring to the 2004 South Carolina Clemson fight. Yeah, that was pretty. That was unnecessary too. Man,
I had Tim Frisbee on my show about that, and we talked a little bit about that. And he said that if you watch the video of that fight, Tim Frisbee is right behind Lou Holtz, and Lou Holtz looked back at him, and this is what Tim Frisbee told me. Of course, the former Gamecock wide receiver.
Pops on the team that year, or
he was on the team. He dressed out, was up at that game and everything. And he said that Lou Holtz looked at him and said, "Get control of them."
Oh God,
that's what he said.
Lou Holtz is probably fucking scared. I mean, that was some big motherfuckers. I mean, he's not exactly a physically imposing damn specimen. So
that's true, man. Well, but I just thought that was funny. He told Pops to go out there and get control of those guys. Okay. Oh man. Let's see if this is the comments from good old Mike Leach, who's always good for a sound bite. Let's see if I actually have the sound bite, and I don't, because I don't know what the hell. Someone's got to find that for me. If you have that, let me know. Send it to me at Rob Sounds Good.
Says she was in the valley. The disturbance started at the bottom of the. Did you step in something that day, Beth, or did your shoes come back clean? It's a 50-50 chance for you to go to that fucking dump.
I was in Death Valley that day, and my buddy ended up being the best man at my wedding. Danny Johnson and I went together, and I always call him Danny Johnson, like everybody needs to know his last name. My buddy Danny and I went, and we got tickets, right? And we were sitting up near the top with all of the South Carolina fans. Okay, so Danny, these guys were running their mouths to Danny and I a little bit, and Danny and I had been drinking a little bit, and Danny's more mouthy when he drinks. I just like to laugh, but Danny wants to get violent and shit. So they kept running their mouths a little bit. And then right after the fight ended, the whole stadium is just quiet. And I remember like the state troopers walking everybody back to the sidelines or whatever after Yusef Kelly ripped off somebody's helmet and holding it up like it was fucking Roman times or some shit. you have to admit that's a hell of a visual. He pulls off the Gamecock helmet and holding it up in the end zone like he beheaded the guy.
Yeah. I remember
but
that.
I remember Danny, like after taking this shit for 3 quarters, he goes, "Oh, now y'all don't want to talk anymore. Fucking shit, do you?" And I'm like, I'm looking around us, and we were the 2 orange spots in the middle of this big Gamecock field of folks. And I'll never forget it. I'm like, Danny, they may throw us off the top of the stadium. You really should shut the hell up. That's kind of what I remember from that. So, yeah, that was a mess. So, anyway.
Noah Sheldon 500 says, "Are you guys sober?" I don't know. I am. You good? I'm good.
Yeah, I got some tea. I'm drinking some tea, man. Calm down.
I got some Diet Coca-Cola right here. No drinking tonight for me.
I'm not going to drink tonight either. So
I got to work tomorrow. We gotta slow my roll on that stuff a little bit. I wasn't feeling too good on Saturday morning. Was up late as fuck. Had to get up early as fuck and got plastered for 4 hours sitting here watching Clemson get hammered. I'm getting hammered too. Good Lord. That was a rough morning.
That was a rough morning. SEC dog, you and I are going to become friends, but I don't think you know much about the game of Hut Hut. Clemson's not scared of Georgia. We're not scared of a team that's basically sometimes second and third in the East. No one's scared of you, man. We don't get scared of teams that lose to South Carolina when they're favored by 24 points at home. Those teams don't intimidate Clemson, folks. Sorry. Worry about getting a 2-game winning streak against South Carolina. Okay, let's do that. let's you worry about that before you worry about talking to Clemson. Okay, worry about your coaching staff going into not being able to convince Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence right there in the heart of Georgia not to come to Georgia. Worry about Justin Fields leaving your program. Worry about Kirby Smart making your starting quarterback now the guy who was like 3rd string at the beginning of the season. You have lots of things you need to worry about, not necessarily things about Clemson, okay?
Brandon Kuhn says, "Who y'all got winning the Heisman Tuesday night final picks?"
Who gives
Devontae Smith.
I'm trying to. No, this isn't the video that I wanted. I thought I had the video queued up of. Let's just try this. I think I had the video queued up of Mike Leach here. We're trying to bring that up for you. Jackpot, do you have a pick or not? Are you with it? What do you think?
I can totally see us cooking in this kitchen.
For the Heisman, do you think? I think it's going to Devontae Smith.
I thought so too.
Yeah, that's kind of who deserves it. So it'll be funny if they gave it to Trevor Lawrence. Just Alabama fans would implode. It'd be like 800 trailer parks that would just spontaneously combust.
Yeah, one's in garnet and black, and the ones in the white and crimson.
How pissed off would Gamecock fans be? And by the way, that's the next thing. Here you go. Let's see these comments from Coach Leach here.
Coach Mike Leach. We're going to get started today by going up to the radio booth for Neil.
Coach, congratulations on the win. First bowl victory for this program in its last couple of tries. And the way that your team won it, holding on, getting a late score, winning a close game, is that a bench?
I think it is. I think it's a mix, to be honest with you. I think that it was very good that we were able to hold on for anybody to get in a rhythm, and they're constantly changing the ball.
No one cares. I'm trying to find the actual clip.
Persistence to do that. I thought I wish we would have finishing, and so we've got to learn that lesson. I think it's funny a number of times people would slip and the rest. So, but I was very proud of our team to win it.
Are you really?
2 turnovers to the outcome of the game.
My God,
defense was able to come away with.
I think
This is a shit that
All right,
ruins.
guys, as we open it up to questions
Here we
again,
go.
if you'll put your name and your outlet in the
Yeah,
chat, we'll
so
get to you as we
they give it to
We're
the
gonna start with
hometown,
Steve
like,
Robertson.
booth first.
Coach, it seemed like late in the ball game, you mentioned making the
Oh my
finishing
God.
drive. When Will went down and threw that touchdown,
Scored either the next series or the
Anyway, this is
Will Rogers
stupid.
finds another freshman for the game.
This is stupid. Ask him the real question.
be all over the map on finishing games. There's no.
Mike, just what kind of happened in that post-game sequence? Sorry to not ask about the actual game, but what kind of happened there in terms of your view and kind of how that thing devolved there?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm kind of curious. All of a sudden, there was a mosh pit out there. During warm-up, a group of their guys circled around our warm-up and were talking and things like that. And then I really don't know. I mean, I haven't seen enough film or anything to entirely let us off the hook on this thing by any stretch. But we haven't had any trouble with that sort of thing all season, other than, a thing here or there. We really haven't had any trouble with that. Now, I don't know if they have or not. I don't really know where the basis of that is. I've always thought Major League Baseball had the best point of view on it. Anybody you like on the other team, you can go ahead and call them the next day or the next week or whatever.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Baseball just walks in their dugout, which I've always thought that was a pretty good way of going about things.
I don't know shit about fuck.
There's problems after a game. It's always, with the handshake stuff.
You got to be shitting me.
Just to follow up on the actual game, you guys had about pretty even balance. I think you guys were 30 runs, 30 passes.
With that goddamn baby inside there.
Kind of a product
Stupid
of
fucking baby.
Fuck this guy. What the hell, man? His press conferences are just stupid.
He has some that are entertaining, but it sounded like he just kept talking around the fucking question and just, Lord, that was hard to listen to.
All right, 803-470-2905, 803-470.
Stick my wiener meat grinder than listen to the rest of that, to be honest with you.
SEC Dog thinks I'm going to opt out of YouTube after week 1. SEC Dog is silly. You bless your heart there, SEC Dog. Bless your sweet, sweet little heart. I mean, wow.
Your dad is making you look like a fucking idiot.
That's basically what's going to boil down to there for you.
What do you think? I mean, I don't know. I mean, Georgia's losing a lot of their secondary. I don't know if they're going to.
You're just going to be good next year. I think Georgia will be pretty good next year.
They'll be pretty good. I don't know. They're losing some on both sides of the ball. I don't know how they're going to contend with ukulele. It's going to be interesting. That's for damn sure.
So, one of the stats from that Ohio State game that kind of stuck out for me early at the end of the game after I watched and looked at the stats a little bit, it seemed like Justin Fields threw for like 800 yards, but Trevor Lawrence ended up throwing for more yards than he did. I was like, oh, I mean, that was kind of impressive.
He did, but you guys have the running back who was a Heisman contender at the beginning of the year anyway. I think that talk kind of dwindled down a little bit. But he surely didn't perform up to the level of the Ohio State running back there. That was the difference in the game, to be honest with you.
All right, 803-470-2905 if you'd like to call in on the show, 803-470-2905.
One-dimensional. Jackpot, SEC Dog said Jackpot sounds like a Tater fan. Huh? Ow.
I don't know shit about fuck.
Exactly. I'm going to wear that clip out with Georgia fans.
Dennis Wilson says, Jackpot, what secondary did Georgia ever have? They've been getting mistreated for 4 years. Yeah, about like that Spencer Sanders kid mistreated the Miami secondary all fucking not long in the Cheez-It Bowl.
Oh, my goodness. Well, anyway.
Oh, fuck. Now we might not win. Sucks.
Anyway. The targeting call. You know what? In the end, that doesn't matter. I thought it was a clean hit. We had a couple of callers that said it was a clean hit, but it's the same thing that I said to Ohio State fans last year. But the officials call the game for both teams. It's not like they all got together and said, let's see if we can fuck over Clemson, or let's see if we can fuck over Ohio State. It's not the way that it is. It's not the way that it happened. So that's the call the officials made, and that's what you have to just deal with. That's just the way that it is.
Yep.
I mean, you can bitch about officials all you want, but the reality is it's not going to change anything. It's not. I think that there is something to be said for the we've talked about Brent Venables and the defense for Clemson. His last two outings in the college football playoff are very Gamecock-like. Shitty. I mean, shitty. Shitty is crazy. Out to the phones we go. All right. Oh, come on in. Let me see here. And all right. Well, hopefully they'll call us right back.
Well, to be fair, Venables they're giving up those kind of offensive numbers to elite teams with elite offenses. They're not giving them up to fucking Kentucky and Ole Miss and goddamn LSU with half the damn team gone.
All right. Let's see here. SEC Dog wants me to tell him how the Taters will beat us. I'm assuming he's talking about Georgia week 1. SMH, love it. Keep talking. It's very simple. Clemson will have the edge at quarterback. Clemson's got a really good offensive line. Clemson has great receivers. And Georgia has Kirby Smart.
I don't know they're going to have the edge at quarterback if JT Daniels comes back, which I assume he will.
I'll go with the ukulele over JT Daniels. Just saying.
Okay.
But as far as that goes, Clemson also doesn't have Kirby Smart, who is a Mr. Potato Head. So there you go.
Well, I think ukulele might have the bigger arm, but JT Daniels has got the experience, and
yeah, but Kirby Smart's too stupid to put him on the field. I mean, Kirby Smart, he may not go to a lit class and may miss a lit class or something and be like, oh well, now you're 8th string. Just saying. So that's how I feel about that. All right, 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905 is looking ahead to that matchup. I think Clemson wins. So simple as that. I think Clemson wins that matchup. And you can't really tell me why you think Georgia's going to win. Fuck out of here with that nonsense. And who does Georgia play, by the way? I mean, let's be completely honest. Congratulations, Alabama rolled into your schedule. Are we supposed to be intimidated by Georgia playing Mizzou and Vanderbilt and Kentucky and South Carolina and Tennessee? Stop with the bullshit, dude. Stop thinking that you're this all elite thing because you get to beat up on the Gamecocks every year. Oh, very good. Not impressive. Not impressive at all. So, and you haven't really done shit since 1980. So just throwing that out there. Three national championships since your last one there, Georgia fans. Just saying. So there you go. 803-470-2905. 803-470-2905 is the number to call if you'd like to join us here on the program this evening as we get ready to wrap up our show. Did you want to watch the national championship game there, Cale? Or are you going to be up for that?
That's on a Monday night. Yeah, sure.
We can do that if you want. Because we had a couple people say they enjoyed the live stream for the Clemson game, that they might like it for the national championship game.
Yeah, that's fine. Hopefully my fucking TV will start acting right this time. Damn thing acted like it had the AIDS the other night. Kept buffering and just messing with me.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll do that we'll do that for Monday's show. And instead of doing a Sunday night show, we'll do that on a Monday instead.
That'll work.
So there you go with that. Oh, by the way, the Pick'em Challenge, we got a 4-way tie up at the top. And the way we're going to decide the 4-way tie is the national championship game. But the way that we'll do that is I'm going to submit another Google form here in the next day or two after I get out of Facebook jail. And you will pick the winner against the spread and the total points in the game. So you submit that and we'll determine who wins and gets the pot.
All right.
So there you go with that.
Good luck to everyone who finished up at number 1.
Was it Gary Mills, Ben Simmons? You love Ben Simmons. Don't you love Ben Simmons?
That's just shocking.
Gary Mills, Ben Simmons, Chris Smith, and David Penn. All of those guys are up there up top. I finished with 10 correct picks, which,
it's not bad.
That's not bad considering the winner right there is at 11. What'd you finish with, Jackpot? I got the standings here. Hold on.
8 or 9. I think I had 8. I think I got beat by Jackpot Jr. in this one. I think he had 9.
Jackpot Jr. with 9, Jackpot with 8. Yeah, so it's David, Ben, Gary, and Chris up top. Magic Shoes Muse, he's out of there with 10. Somebody in the 10 spot could theoretically win since everybody's going to pick. Just saying. If everybody blows it. All right, let's take this call. And good evening. Welcome into the show. What's up?
So how are you guys feeling about Beamer, and what are you thinking about quarterback for Carolina this year?
I'll let Kale take that question. Jackpot, what do you think about Beamer so far?
Oh, I'm all about him so far. It looks like he's trying to put a SEC championship level staff together. And it looks like he's either he's got that staff out there going through the transfer portal, trying to get back kids that decommitted, trying to go after some decommitments from other schools. I seen where a kid who was committed to Memphis, who's like a 4-star kid, that was committed to Memphis, that they're hot on his trail, and the Gamecocks actually have a crystal ball in for the flip on him. So everything's looking up so far. I wish they'd hurry up and get a defensive coordinator hired. I think that'll help recruiting. I mean, it's crucial. I mean, days. We don't have days that we can waste with this thing. We need to get somebody in place now.
Very true. Very true.
Because days turn into weeks, and before you know it, it's time for spring practice. Assuming we have one this year, hopefully.
I think everybody's going to try to have spring practice there, Jackpot. That's going to happen. So, well, there you go, buddy. As far as quarterback goes, I mean, it's. I've heard that they're going to give Colin Hill a look. And that's from 2 different folks I know that are on the inside down there. They're going to give Colin Hill a look. I don't know what that means, but with Helinski and the transfer portal, if I'm a Gamecock fan, I feel a lot better with Ryan Doty out there, or Luke Doty, taking over at quarterback.
I'm feeling Doty way better.
Well, his numbers weren't really good. I mean, his numbers weren't anything that you want to write home about, but inefficiencies on the offensive line, I think that's the safer quarterback to have.
Well, his numbers weren't really good. So what are you feeling about Helinski skipping?
I think I yield to Jackpot on that because sometimes things just don't work out. I mean, you can rip and say, wow, this is the program falling, but the program can't fall much farther than it has. I mean, you've got to go up from here, in my opinion. So he may go somewhere and be outstanding. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he had off the field issues.
Yeah,
just saying that affected his game, affected his practice, affected his ability to learn new offense. So hopefully he gets it all cleared up.
The guy threw for 324 yards against a Nick Saban defense. That to me says you're pretty good. There's lots of guys that can't do that are really good quarterbacks. So
yeah, it's his second game as a starter. After he
Yeah,
started and tuned up against Charleston Southern, and then he started and tuned up against Charleston Southern, and then he goes out there and plays Alabama.
I mean, he threw the pill a little bit out there for that, man. So, but I mean, he's gone now. If you're a Gamecock fan, you just got to deal with him going. Same thing with Fenwick, who I thought was a pretty good running back, but he may have looked at it and said, "Do I think I'm going to get carries with Harris?" And the other guy, who's the other running back? Lloyd. Yeah.
Yeah, and those other two cats, Rashad Amos and Zaquandra White, they didn't look bad either when they ran the ball.
White, from what I've been told, may end up moving to defense. They tried to get him to do that at Florida State. He ended up helping out a little bit towards the end of the season, but supposedly he's like a monster athlete. And if he wants to stay on the South Carolina team, he may end up having to play on the other side of the ball. They consider him, what's the term? Just like an uncut gem, basically. So
Diamond in the rough.
Diamond in the rough.
I don't know what you.
If he went out there and played as a safety and didn't have, this whole thing, and they basically coached him up and said, "Look, just play on your reactions and do this." And he went out there and played really good. I mean, hell, that.
Yeah, I heard that.
He could help plug in a spot where there's problems, because that secondary has to be completely rebuilt right now with everybody that transferred out. So. All right, man. Hey, thanks for joining the show, buddy. We appreciate it.
Now, you guys, thank you so much. Have a great year.
All right, buddy.
You guys are all.
And final call for calls this evening, 803-470-2905. We will be back at it on Wednesday. We'll also be on Facebook again on Wednesday because I won't be in Facebook jail. Blake says Beamer will make adjustments on the fly and at halftime. We don't know that because he's never been a head coach. He may not do that. I don't know. That's the best part is you don't know. So, I mean, to think he's just going to – you think he's going to make adjustments. We don't know that. We don't have any track record on that. Brandon Kuhn says Cam Smith will be one of the 4 starters at corner next year. Maddie says free me from jail. Yeah, man. I called somebody ignorant a year ago. That's why I'm in Facebook jail. I'm in 3 days for Facebook jail for that. Anyway, I think we've had a good show here, Jackpot. You have anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
No. I have nothing.
You getting jacked up for basketball season? Gamecocks beat Florida A&M yesterday. Which
they beat Florida A&M.
Florida A&M is pretty good.
What's that?
Florida A&M is pretty good.
They were like I think they'd only won like one game, but they played like they played some pretty tough teams. I just looked over their slate, so that's not too bad.
Won on the road at Miami last night, 66-65. Amir Sims hit went 1-on-4 and banked a shot in from the free throw line to give Clemson the win. Generally, that's a game Clemson loses. Yeah. So maybe this is
it was a road game. That I mean, they generally lose all of those. So congratulations, I guess. Roll MF and Tide says Georgia fans have Ohio State egos with a Vandy trophy case. That sounds familiar. I don't know. They ain't that bad now. I mean, that's not Gamecock bad. We had Vanderbilt or Alabama mouth with a Vanderbilt trophy case.
Milton says Florida A&M is 1-6. Yeah, but their schedule they played has been really good.
Yeah, they have. They're a MEAC team,
really good. So
they're a whatever that's called, MEAC. Team, and they don't but they played.
FC State is in.
They played some Power 5 level college football or college basketball teams.
Crazy. All right. Well, we've had a good show. We'll be back at it on Wednesday.
Brock Lee says Vandy was really good way back in the day. Yeah, just ask Clemson. They know.
Are we talking basketball or are we talking baseball?
Talking football.
Oh, played him since 1952, Kale.
No, I think it was 1960.
Oh, okay. Well, South Carolina lost to the Augusta YMCA in 1912. Just saying. Their program's went to the shitter since then, but in 1912,
that's what they get for beating the Gamecocks. Their program just imploded after that. Served them right.
Morgan says he went to the Peach Bowl to cheer for Cincy. Had a bad time. Sorry to hear that. Kale had a bad time. He wanted Georgia to lose that game. That cost him some money. Jordan says, question for me. This isn't about the targeting call on Friday, but just that Skalski has had an issue of targeting calls in big games. Yeah, he has. And you know what? He came out on Twitter and said, hey, I can't lead with my head. And he's right. And I think a lot of times you get a reputation with officials, and they these guys meet and have meetings and shit, and they may talk about that stuff, and he's gained a reputation for leading with his helmet. So, yeah.
Brandon Coon says we might lose to the YMCA now.
Depending on the opt-outs, I might take the Augusta YMCA that game. But as far as Skalski goes, I mean, he's coming back to play next season. So
Uncle Lou calls him neck roll. He says this guy neck roll for Clemson. He says, is there a dirtier player in the game of college football? I don't think there is.
Uncle, I must have missed that from Uncle Lou because
that was at halftime of the game the other night.
I can name tons of other dirtier players than James Skalski, but okay, Uncle Lou, whatever, my friend. All right, we'll be back at it on Wednesday, and with that, we are done.